well, if you can hear me well, if my audio is well, if the video is well on both sides at the start. So I'm quite excited because many people don't know, but Jorge is co-founder of Stargaze. There was three co-founders, and many people don't actually know that Jorge is co-founder of Stargaze. Is it correct statement?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm the co-founder with Shane and Jake. So we kind of like all three started Stargaze.
Jorge, I have prepared some some things I don't like about Stargaze for later, and I will demand some questions for you. Um, but before we start, as I think not many people know of you, and I heard great stuff for you. I heard you are actually like really working hard, and you are responsible for what actually is Stargaze. Let's rewind a little bit and learn about who is Jorge. Okay. You are actually from Guatemala, which is not really somewhere to be known to be blockchain driven country, is it?
Yeah, yeah, I'm from Guatemala and yeah, currently living in Guatemala. So I guess like at least the blockchain scene like is not like well known. At least from what I know, it's not like common thing here. Even
Hmm.
though like you have El Salvador next to Guatemala, I think that's the closest. Like the as a country as a whole, like have heard about uh crypto.
No. Guatemala is quite famous for having like high crime rates, right? And a lot of gangs. Is it correct?
Yeah, I guess
Or
like it's pretty much like in kind of like in these countries like the in Central America.
Mhm.
The yeah, it's usually a thing.
Yeah. And yet you are there. Like what was the when was the first time you actually got connected to crypto, like, or start the interest there?
Um, I actually well when I joined like the True Story, which was a startup where Shane was working. Like actually, that's where I met Shane. That's the first time I kind of like got into kind of like work into crypto. I have known about Bitcoin before, but never used it. And
Mhm.
actually, I didn't hold any coins until like maybe 2020. And my first like crypto was Atom.
Oh, so
That was
that was
like the
and it
first
was
coin.
because of Shane?
Sorry.
Yeah, and it was because of Shane? The first crypto was
I
happened
guess
because
like
of Shane, because or it's someone else?
because yeah, no, I guess like it's because we were working in with like Cosmos SDK at that time. Well, we still are, but so I kind of like got like more exposure to Cosmos and to Atom, and so that I decided to get my first Atom. Like was my
Yeah.
first like crypto purchase. Yeah.
So, like, considering you come like a lot from Web 2, right? Uh was your first thoughts of crypto that it actually like can solve a lot of issues, or were thoughts rather opposite, that hey, it's so inefficient and useless to build anything on blockchain?
I guess like I can only speak from my experience, like
Mhm.
starting right from Cosmos. Like everything felt like I don't know, like fine, I guess. Like especially like the proof of stake, like the fast finality for all transactions, and then as in terms of crypto adoption, like I guess like for countries where you have trouble like getting um like like it's hard to send money like internationally, like
Mhm.
international. So I don't know like how many people have tried to send like a wire transfer like overseas and just waiting like hopefully it lands where it's supposed to go, you know, like
Mhm.
um so it's crazy, and compared to crypto where everything is just like instantaneous, like yeah, it's so much better.
Yeah, and how is the banking sector and the situation in Guatemala? I'm not very experienced. Is there a lot of people who are is unbanked maybe? Um, or do you have your own currency or
Yeah,
maybe? Yeah.
yeah, we have our own currency, and actually like the banking system in Guatemala is pretty stable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so compared to the USD, it doesn't fluctuate a lot, like just by a couple cents. The the banking system is very good compared to other countries
Oh,
in Central America, and so it's not that bad. But yeah, still there's a lot of people that are not in the banking system, and usually just use like traditional paper money to do business, especially like in the countryside, you know. Like,
yeah. Like I'm actually checking right now, right? Guatemalan quetzal. You are actually the second person I met that is from Guatemala. Um, and
really?
you know, like the picture you get, like I feel from a lot of media is like all of these Guatemalan refugees and stuff, and I assume yeah there is probably some issues, but now I'm looking at your currency for since 2004. In the 2003, one Guatemalan quetzal equaled 13 cents of United States, and now is the same. So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's more stable. Is your currency pegged to US dollar or not?
No, not really, but like the most of the trading happens between the
Hmm.
U.S. and like that all the goods and services. It's very tied to the U.S. So it's kind of like it was pegged, but it's very stable. If you compare it to Mexico, where like the inflation is it's higher,
Hmm.
so the quetzal has been like more stable, even though
Hmm.
it's like a small country. But yeah, it's been quite stable for 20 years
Hmm.
mostly. I don't know.
Yeah. Are you enjoying living in Guatemala? Are you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a
I guess
chill?
like pretty much. I guess like uh, Guatemala is a nice country. Like
Yeah.
it has good coffee. I don't know. You have tried Guatemalan coffee. It's among the top in the world. So it has good coffee. You can get like a different types of beans from different regions. And as for the city, it's a great city, and you can have many places too as well.
You make me want to visit now, and it's only because of you, like it started making me interested, and especially the coffee, because I'm the coffee person. Are you the coffee person as
Yeah,
well, like one
yeah,
coffee a
yeah,
day,
yeah.
two coffee a day, how many?
Um, Usually two or three, maybe. I have like my espresso machine and have like my grinder and have like different things for brewing coffee. So I kind of
Oh,
like
nice.
coffee a lot.
And you
So
prefer espresso based, yeah? It's espresso based
yeah,
coffee.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, me
and
too.
also cold brew.
Yeah, nice, nice. Really, I want to go, like, cause I'm obsessed. Like, is it outside in the cafes? Can you also get like really nice espresso based coffee? Like, I mean, espresso or maybe long black or stuff like this. A lot of nice
Yeah,
coffee.
yeah, totally. Like there is like more specialized like coffees like shops like but usually most of them use like the national coffee, which is pretty good, and you can have like different types because like the geography is like very mixed, like the country. So there is like
Mhm.
coffees, like beans that are like at the altitudes, like different altitudes. So you have like a different. Is ones are more acid or like it tastes differently.
Mhm.
So you can get to mix them, or they actually have like a blend mix of different
Mhm.
coffees,
Mhm.
which are really nice.
Do you like a little bit of acidity in your coffee,
Yeah,
or a little bit? Yeah. So
yeah,
not too dark of the roast. Yeah, medium roast is the
yeah,
perfection
exactly.
for
Like a
you.
in between. So that I usually get like a blend mix that is already prepared, that has
Mhm.
like a dark coffee beans and and brown. So
Yeah.
so
I'm
if
struggling.
you ever come, like for example, you can get like a tour into the where the coffee beans are, like the farms and everything. So it's really nice.
Oh, we would go for a tour together to
Yeah.
the coffee farms, and I'm gonna
So
have a problem. I, it would be nice. I need to get some beans. My brother-in-law got me some beans, but they're like
mhm,
floral, very light roast. The
mhm.
espresso is absolutely disgusting of them, right? Like it doesn't work. Therefore, like French press or the alternative methods. So this one not really good. Nice. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about my coffee trip to Guatemala soon. Um, did you grew up in? Yeah, go on. Wanted to say something?
Oh no, no, I just want to say like because also like the coffee, because like Guatemala is like a very volcanic area.
Hmm.
So like the acidity of the coffee, it gets affected by all the volcanoes around where the coffee is
All
grown.
right.
Uh,
Right. So it's the,
so
the
it's
the
like,
land, like very volcanic land.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
So because of this, you probably have also really nice vegetables and fruits because you have good soil. I heard volcano soil is actually the really good for farms.
Yeah, you can pretty much find any fruit like through the whole year.
Hmm.
Like the weather is kind of like, but it's in the tropics, so it's kind of like
Hmm.
warm all the time. Like it doesn't get too cold, so you can get like uh, whatever fruit you want all
Hmm.
the time almost. But there are like seasonal fruits, like you can like in the summer as well. Um,
Hmm.
So and as for like the same like volcanic area, like there's like the ocean, like the beach, the sand is kind of like black because it's kind of like with the all this volcanic material. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. I'd love to go for the food. I'm asking about volcano. I was in Bali. It's also very volcano soil, and the bananas there very delicious, or coconuts, huge coconuts. Sorry guys that it's not crypto talk, but I'm learning about other cultures. That's the So Guatemala, it seems like it's very diversified when it comes to ethnic groups. What I'm looking here. So um there is like I believe Hispanic background, right? You have Maya people,
yeah,
etc. What's your ethnicity? You are white, but like, so it's like Hispanic background, yeah.
yeah. I guess like it's also like at this point, like everyone is like a mix. I don't know, like
Mhm.
but so the main language is Spanish, like because like the Spanish colonies like
Mhm.
before. So there you can find like all Spanish towns. There's like one famous which is called Antigua, which was the
Mhm.
old like capital of Guatemala, which is still has all kind of like the castles and places like
Mhm.
the Spanish colony. But yeah, there is also like 22 like languages that are spoken, like derived from Mayans. So it's
Yeah.
very diverse in that regard.
Hmm. Yeah, I get that. Were you born in the Guatemala city, or somewhere outside?
No, I was born in like a small town, like
Mhm.
3 hours from the capital. So this is a small country, so you can pretty much get like
Mhm.
to any other town, and like I guess the farthest one is like uh, six, 5, 6 hours by car. So I
Mhm.
live like I I I grew up in a town like it's like 3 hours from here, which is a very small town. So I was born there and actually just moved to the city to go to college uh,
Mhm.
when I was like
Nice.
around 17, probably. Yeah.
Was it, sorry, do you have like free education in Guatemala or it's expensive? Uh,
No, you have like the public university, which is really good, and then you have like all the private
did you
uh,
attend
uh,
to?
universities. Actually, won a scholarship for a private university. So when I was in like in kind of like high school, there was like this challenge to make like a like I don't know like websites or something, and so that's how I kind of like won like a scholarship, like a full paid scholarship, and so I went to like a private university.
So, so you had the talent because you were already in high school being good developer, yeah, and that gave you the scholarship, and you studied computer science, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I studied computer science.
Hmm.
Um, but like the I guess like the only difference also like with the public university, I guess at the end it might be just the connections, I guess, of people.
Hmm.
But like in terms of like quality, I guess it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, I understand. Um, did you like before you got working like on the Stargaze? Did you ever like heard about NFTs or like research them, or it was like quite new thing? Because well, what was it, 2020 when you start? Oh,
Yeah, well, no, I joined uh, to the startup where Shane was like the lead. Um, was kind of like my exposure to crypto,
mhm,
and pretty much I've learned a lot from Shane in that regard, like all these new things. I was doing Go development, so that's
mhm,
kind of like why I joined because I was always wanting to go, but then it was like I was interested in new things, and I think like from the blockchain's perfect perspective, that was really interesting to me. So I already knew how to developing programming Go, so that's why the
mhm,
first reason I joined. But then I kind of just started learning like Cosmos, Tendermint, and everything, and so that was in early 2019. Um, we kind of like the startup done that year at the end of the year. Um, so that left us like, oh, what's next? You know, like so we started like a validator business.
mhm,
So that's why you can still find like a Stargaze validator in the hub and or Osmosis and even Region. So we keep those still running. But then since we both kind of like builders, then started to kind of start working on something, and then that at the same time was when Jake kind of joined us as well.
mhm. So it was you, Shane, and then after that the Jake joined, right? And it was three of you
Yeah,
at the
yeah, and pretty
start.
much like 2020 was like exploring ideas on what to build. We had the idea of like kind of like this decentralized Twitter,
Mhm,
and so that's kind of like how everything started, like as this tech beer and kind of like curating content like from Twitter. But
mhm,
then it's like when you know like you cannot base your Web3 protocol on something like this Web2, or you depend on others because you can easily get shut down. You know, you don't have control over that.
mhm. And what was the time when you decided to actually wind off to the NFTs from the
Yeah, so
Jake? the idea of Twitter, like, but focus on purely on the NFTs?
So yeah, so when we realize like you don't own the content like from an external platform, so
Hmm.
like okay, you need like the native content for crypto, and it's kind of like when NFT made sense, like the form of content is NFTs,
Hmm.
like, and it was at the same time where like um like when Jack saw like the first like tweet NFT or something, and so yeah, we kind of like pivot to, oh, let's start with doing NFTs, like the first thing is like just by going with the art or like a toy face,
Hmm.
and then kind of explore on which other um, or what other types of content you can use NFTs for.
And because you abandoned the Twitter like idea, why is, do you think the Twitter on chain completely doesn't make sense? It's like doomed. This sort of social networks just cannot really do well on chain. What's there?
I guess like maybe just relying on Twitter uh, is the bad idea. I don't think like creating content on Web3 is wrong, but it has to
Hmm.
be native to
Yeah.
Web3, you know. So I guess like at some point we will start seeing more of the social aspect on Stargaze, and you can see it as a form of blog posts or more text around.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess it will start like evolving into this social thing, because that's kind of like was the original plan or intended, but then you had to build all the infrastructure like NFTs, like marketplace, and
Hmm.
or even names which are kind of like the usernames. Um, so everything kind of like started from that point, and have had like this kind of like roadmap on why we add new things. For example, names, which what the last thing we added, uh, because we are kind of like in this path of building this social
Hmm.
experience, you can say.
Yeah, so I want to ask, because you mentioned the blogging, right? What's this decentralized blogging? Is it Mirror.xyz? Is it on chain? Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I guess like our
So do
first
you
posts
want to
were
create
on Mirror.
something like this? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I guess probably we have had this idea of doing it. I guess like as like initial phase, we can use either like IPFS or like Earwave, and kind of like start doing like a blogging system or something. And
Hmm.
it can be NFTs, as you do NFT right now, but then it just point to this content.
Yeah. Yeah, like so when will I be able to create the posts as the Don Cryptonium dot stars on my on the Stargaze blogging platform?
Um, I don't know. You might get surprised one of these
I
days.
hope so. I hope so, because I'm waiting for a lot of stuff, Jorge, and I keep waiting. But no, I think it would be cool, because I feel with the NFTs, I'm not sure if that's the plan. You could actually, like, the token gate maybe some certain articles in the future, right? So I think there is like a lot of potential, for example, for people who wants to do, less child friendly content. They can actually create a blog post, for their communities. And I
Yeah,
think this
exactly. Yeah,
quite
I
cool
guess like
idea.
yeah, and it makes sense. Like we also kind of like want to be like that. It's like a social stream where you can.
Hmm.
I mean, like as in every social platform, you can follow, have your social graph, and then
Hmm.
if you add on top of that like blogging system, then you can follow any for the your latest blog post or whatever. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, would be really nice. I'm waiting. I know the Shane mentioned that. Jorge, I need to ask you some stuff about the Stargaze, okay? So
Yeah,
um
sure.
the first thing, when I go to the marketplace, okay, and I have it's really nice, finally it's there. But when it comes to filtering, I can only view the NFTs that are available for sale or are on the auction. Why I cannot see the NFTs that are not on sale on Stargaze Marketplace, so I can maybe bid for them and maybe people want to sell me? Why I cannot find them? Why I have to go through the third parties to see, the NFT that I want to find? When I will have it on the page, when I hit all, I will have all NFTs displayed.
Yeah, I guess like the original intent was to focus on marketplace, on what's available.
Mhm,
And but then kind of like we have like the bidding system, and in order to generate more like more liquidity on collections, that's where it makes sense. And actually, yeah, we already have planned to fix it this next week. Um, and it's our blocker also for time actions.
mhm,
So you will be able to see, uh, from the technical perspective, we already have the data like to show that, and you can
mhm,
already see like we show like how many items belong to that trade, and it shows also how many are listed.
mhm,
Um, so we are actually working on displaying everything now, which is kind
mhm.
of the first step to enable like time actions, which will come soon as well.
So when I will click all, I will see all NFTs from the certain collection within the Stargaze website, correct?
Yeah, yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. Um, nice. There is more things. So we have the sorting options. I wonder if you were um what I really like on the OpenSea. I'm not sure if you use OpenSea sometimes. This is from Ethereum, but on the OpenSea you also have the filtering through the last sale. It also relies. So w- there is a lot of these elements, and you can see the last sales on the Hubble tools, etc. uh you know could we get this also on the within the Stargaze marketplace? And also, to follow up, because don't want to keep doing one question, can we see the volume of collections within the page? That, let's say, the bad kids have 20 million volumes since the start. Could we get all of this data on the Stargaze?
Um, so what we are currently working is on adding more sorting options for collections, which will include volume. Right now, we are sorting by daily volume, like the last day or last 24
Mhm,
hours. So you can see like the training now changing depending on the last 24 hours uh, volume. But yeah, we want to enable like more options like 1 day, 3 day, or 7 day
mhm.
volume sorting options.
Yeah.
And as for last sale, I guess like or recently list, something that we have considered either adding like a stream of this, directly into Stargaze, or I guess like for trading, for filtering or sorting in the actual collection page. Yeah, I guess like I haven't considered it yet, but I guess it's something we can probably add.
Yeah. I think for filtering it would be cool, like recently sold, right? In the filtering. So you see
Yeah.
what people are buying. You can see maybe which thread are people looking. I think it's quite cool. Especially maybe for people who trade, because those recently sold are also probably more likely to be flipped. So you kind of like could spot the certain trend. Someone is asking that, with the names, we can only bid on the names. You cannot release the names on the marketplace. I feel it's a bug, personally. Will
I
we,
guess it.
I owe some names. Can I want to list them because let's say I want to flip, I have money in my mind. So will we get it?
I guess like it, the current design, yeah. When you buy an NFT, it automatically generates like a or it lists your name in the marketplace, in the name marketplace. So it's
Hmm.
already listed. The only difference is you don't get to set like an asking price, um, because the marketplace controls like the all these things about renewals. Um, I guess like if you want to set like an asking price, you will have to change some of the design. But what we are working is from the front end, being able to discover the names you want. Like the current page we have, it was more towards our launch, but we are working
Hmm.
on kind of redesigning this page so it can be easily like explore different names because all the names are listed. You just have to bid on these names to trade them.
Yeah.
But I guess like that's the initial step. As for setting an asking price, uh, yeah, I guess like it's something that we might have to consider because it actually affects the design of the contract.
Yeah, I think it would be useful because it creates more vibrant ecosystem, and for Stargaze is beneficial because there is additional trading fee. So there is something with the people that I think that if you don't really see the name listed, you don't really trade them. Like people are lazy to go to bid, but let's say there is the someone bid the highest offer I see on the name Love, right, and it's 10,000 stars, and maybe this person doesn't want to sell it for 10,000 stars, but people are not bothered. And maybe when you have marketplace, this person listed for 20,000 stars and someone's like, yeah, I can do it. And it's like creating like really vibrant, I'd love to see that. If I know maybe you don't have enough manpower to do all this stuff, uh but yeah, I'd love to
Yeah,
do
I
that.
will. I will keep it in mind, and I will tell the team about it. Um,
um
but yeah, I agree. Like,
Mhm. There is the why treat these names different than the other NFTs, right? Why you didn't like I mean like in the bidding system, why didn't you treat them the same as the all the other NFTs you have on the page
the
in the
idea
tree?
is like people don't get to just like how do you say like to just buy the domains or names and
Mhm.
just call them forever. So like the idea is for the bidding system is to make it more fair to
Mhm.
someone that actually wants that name and what wants that name and create like this market based solution around it. So currently the bidding system works in order to like if you want to keep your name either and if there's bids you either have to pay like a
Mhm.
percentage of that bid or just accept the bid so it
Mhm.
creates that dynamic of not holding the names forever.
Yeah.
And currently the what we are thinking is like if no one bids on your name so there's like no renewal because it creates like
Mhm.
that this demand for names someone doesn't want it, like yeah, you just get to keep it like without paying a renewal fee.
Yeah. Understood. You mentioned you have few validators, and was it like you have the validator on the Cosmos Hub? So is it the company? Is this public awesome or something like this? The company controls them, so it's like how who these atoms belong to, and was this atom acquired from the investment you got? Like how does it work? Or it was someone's private?
Uh, no, I guess like everything started before even we made a Stargaze like as company. So at the end, you will say like it's Polycosm, but we got like delegations in the past, like even from ICF and which yeah, I guess yeah, in the past has been reduced, and it's
Mhm.
probably just like personal delegations and some of the foundations, like the initial funds. But you see like the ranking, it's like the validus is at the very low.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was mostly from small delegations like we got from the past, like even before like
Yeah.
Stargaze.
Maybe lower the fee to 5%. If you don't have much of the people delegations, I think it would make sense. No,
Yeah, I
if
guess
it's
like yeah, I guess that makes sense. Right. Yeah,
if
I
it's
guess like we
mainly
just went with
self-funded,
the
if you
yeah
lower the fee, there might be more people willing to delegate, I think.
yeah I guess like yeah, at some point like when we then just start like a Stargaze like stable with um didn't have like much attention to our validator.
Mhm.
I mean, we do the upgrades and everything and keep it like monitoring, but so it stays up. But like in terms of like we don't see like a profit like at this point. I don't think it has done like getting any like in terms of
Mhm.
commission. Like yeah, I guess we have paid more of hardware cost than what it has in commissions.
Mhm. Um, you know, um, shit. What I wanted, I just had it in the top of my mind. Yeah, in investment rounds, there is something that Stargaze never really addressed. I got some information about the investment rounds. So you raised $4.69 million from the venture capital, um, which was 16% of Genesis supply. Are you able to share at what price were those rounds per token, if it's public knowledge?
I think there's a public document. I'm not sure, uh,
Hmm.
but there was two different rounds, so it has different prices. Uh,
Okay, because I know the
yeah,
average seems just below 3 cents. So I wonder what was one round, what was the other one.
yeah, around that price. I don't recall the exact number, but yeah, it was around that price, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Do you have big cash burnout, or it's quite okay? Are you using those money, or you funding a lot with the stars?
Oh no, we used like the seed fund to pay people. You know, like I guess like especially in this time. At the end, that's what it's for, like to keep everything running, and
Mm-hmm.
it's been like helpful to have that there, so like you have a good runway. Um, so yeah, we usually use that for
Mm-hmm.
paying people.
There is some people complaining, that there is these few major wallets that receive a lot of inflation rewards, right? Because there is this developer wallet. I think part of this going to community pool. So many people would expect that these tokens get paid to developers. How exactly it works? If you could, elaborate on that.
Yeah, I guess like a good portion of that flows into the foundation, and currently since everything started as a three-person startup. That's what like the genesis, like the blockchain. But
Mm-hmm.
now there is like almost 15 people, and actually tomorrow we are going to upload like a new version of the splits contract where we
Mm-hmm.
plan to kind of like rebalance like that allocation because essentially there is more folks contributing to Stargaze, and not
Mm-hmm.
only core team members but other entities that also help to develop Stargaze.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Because this is how the attack, like that's where the attacks, I think, come from. And the treasury is huge right now, right? Like this, and community pool, which was barely used, like really more
Yeah,
deep?
I guess like in terms of foundation, like I guess like foundation plans to like this delegation program. We are looking into there's a ranking system for validators that takes into different
Hmm.
metrics into who to delegate and how much to delegate to keep like
Yeah,
like a balance. Um, so I guess like once that's launched, then uh, it will be like it's part of like these reallocating all these dev rewards
yeah.
and everything.
Um, there's
As
this.
for the
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
yeah, as for the community pool, I guess like the intended usage was for NFT like rewards, like for example, like staking NFTs, which should come when you have like a super cool staking, which is not live yet, but kind of like all these rewards are still flowing into the community pool. Um, Actually, it should, I guess it should go to like a dedicated module account that is just
Hmm.
for these NFT staking rewards and not part of the community pool. Um, I guess like that will make sense to have like a different module. So it's not mixed with the actual community pool. Because
Hmm.
now the clawback happens, and then you added like another almost 200 million stars back to the community pool.
Hmm.
So right now it's really huge.
Someone's saying I'm not sure what it actually mean. Something. Uh, yeah, like if you can elaborate on that NFT liker or frame it in like easier way, because I'm not really. I want to, there is some discussion on the Commonwealth um about the new smart contract being deployed. This is P2P trading. How does it differentiate from Pegasus? Is it like is there any difference or not really?
Oh yeah. So Pegasus right now it allows to trade between NFTs.
Hmm.
Like if you want to exchange like I don't know like a pixel wizard for mutant,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
you can send requests to create offers and build like a bundle of what you want to exchange,
Hmm.
but it does not involve any tokens. So you trade NFTs for NFTs, right?
Hmm.
Um, so NFT Switch, what it plans to do is add tokens to the mix, so you can
Right.
trade NFTs, but also add like stars to the
Oh,
mix.
okay,
Uh,
okay. Also, that's really cool,
so
I guess. So, yeah.
yeah, so the I guess like discussion is around like first like it needs to be open source, which I don't think it has happened yet. Which is kind of like the one of the main requirements for deploying Stargaze is that everything needs to be open source. Pretty much all of the contracts or all the contract that has been uploaded are open source, and you can find them in on each proposal. And the other is like the fee system, which it won't kind of like be paying royalties to creators, but it still has a fee which goes to the team building this contract. And I guess it has other mechanisms around like delegating to a validator to get like a discount or something.
Yeah, but
And
like so okay, because people say it needs to be open source and I'm pro open source, right? But my question is there possibility that with contract like this one there is danger to the Stargaze blockchain or not really?
well, you don't know if you cannot see the code. Like, I will argue against like the danger. Like, we have deployed like the main marketplace and names contracts all full open source, and we have received like even like security like reports and we take care of them. And I guess it
Mhm.
depends on making it transparent about it and not like it's something um,
Yeah.
you know. I guess to my point, I don't see like a reason to be like um, closed source, like even if you have or you think that you might have issues with someone like like using your code for deploying on a different network, then you can probably just have like a different license where it says, okay, the code is available, but it's not like free to use, right?
Well, what I'm trying to think, right? Because like this open, like for example, when it comes to the wallet and when it comes to DeFi, I feel like yeah, there is the danger. But I wonder, like, what's the danger with this smart? So, every single smart contract that is deployed on Stargaze require permission. It
Yeah.
kind of slows the ecosystem because it makes me almost feel that Stargaze team can shield something. Like if someone tried to deploy contract, right? So on everyone can build on Ethereum, no, like right, and there will there is no like if you deploy the contracts, like there is I have not heard that the contracts would breach the Ethereum security in regards of the NFTs, right? Because you have open source and closed source platforms,
Um,
everyone is free to do. So why shield that with governance? Why,
well, you can just check the last two halves of Juno and say it doesn't need to be related to NFTs. Like the code, it can be anything in that contract, and
Mhm.
you don't know. And if, so that's kind of like the main reasons. And the other is like um, if you build around like the app chain thesis, like you want something like is related to what the chain is doing,
Right.
and nothing like is nothing completely related or is unrelated to the chain. But how can you verify like it will do what is supposed or they are telling you it will do if you cannot see the code? You know?
I understand. It's dangerous, but on the other side, it also slow down deployment process, right?
Yeah,
Like so
yeah. I
it's
guess like we need to find like a balance between the two. But yeah, I agree. Like
so
it can slow innovation, but at the same time, you need to consider the other aspect and see what's more beneficial to you.
because you know what
And
I'm trying. Go on.
no, and at the end, it depends on the community and validators, I guess. Like because the community is the one who's voting for these contracts to be voted. At the end, if the team doesn't want it or for some reason, it doesn't matter because it's the community deciding if they want it to be
Mhm,
voted or not. Like it's not our
mhm.
decision.
So what I want to like elaborate here, yeah, NFT liker. I'm gonna address that in a moment. Let's say I build some application on Stargaze, right? Let's say I build the new marketplace, and I go on Stargaze and I want to deploy this contract. But you guys are at Stargaze. What I mean, Shane, you, and others involved are like, oh, he's trying to compete with our he's deploying new marketplace on Stargaze. And I need to go through the governance, but you kind of have power to whisper to people ears like, hey, vote no. And
I mean,
for
you can.
creator like me, like how you understand the issue a little bit here, that it might be the case, and is it the case, or you would not touch it, or you, and could you promise you will not whisper, and you actually, because if it's like, I see no reason to vote no for anything
Well,
like this. If someone wants to deploy neutral marketplace, like it should be available, it never should be voted down because of
I guess like it
competition.
depends on the marketplace dynamics. I also like you can deploy like new marketplace, but then if you are voting on the benefits of the community, like the marketplace, all the fees are sent back to stakers. You know, like so if this new marketplace is saying, oh, we are going to charge fees, but everything goes to the team building it. Uh, which one will you prefer as a community? The one is paying to stakers, or the one which does not give back anything? So I guess it depends on that. At the end, if the community wins by having a different marketplace with different functionality, I guess that's totally fine.
Yeah, so this is my problem. Like, what if there is the fees, but they're lower, and also someone a little bit of the fees to the team who build that, that are competitive, and simply maybe it's like great user experience, and then like people like you maybe would look and be like, hey, they are not as good as our. Please vote no. And then this person who tried to deploy marketplace, cool, I'm going to Solana now.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's my point again. Like, if you want lower
mhm,
fees, the contract already is governance
mhm,
enabled, so you can submit a proposal to say, oh, let's charge less fees. You know, it's
mhm,
something
I
that the
understand.
contract already supports. But it's
Mhm,
something like it is totally different logic. Then I won't see like a problem in like having that type of contract uploaded. Um,
yeah.
but but if the argument is, oh, it will charge less fees, then you can do the same with the current marketplace, but just submit a proposal to lower the fees.
Right. Well, but the other marketplace might be maybe, having some extra perks. Maybe they can actually display all collection. Maybe they can filter right. So there is like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So
So
I,
we
I
currently
think
have
from
on the
me, I want to sorry, like from me, I want to ensure that the team has minimal involvement in like this sort of
yeah.
stuff, right? That's go on.
Yeah, no, I guess like it's true. I mean, and I guess there is some misconception, like because the marketplace, the contract, it's there, it's in the blockchain, and you can build a totally different UI, like a competing UI. There is already like finder's fee option in the marketplace
Mhm,
where new UIs can charge this fee as a reward for matching like uh, users with like an offers and
mhm.
buys and sells.
Yeah. That's really cool. Let's just address NFT liker. He thinks if people who come like um not this one. I think it's possible for new creators to come to Stargaze and see success. I think it's actually a lot of success. Like, I think there is less competition. um this that there is no community members really. Like, I want to give you the some of the recent projects, maybe not even recent. You Space Skillies, which is project that did not even launch via Launchpad. They did their own community drop, and one of the most popular collection on the Stargaze. You had Pixel Wizards that were on the Launchpad, but also don't come from like Stargaze community or anything like this. My advice would be build really nice art and engage with the community. I would advise you to message other creators and think of something. It might be difficult because I see many people come in, create the collection, drop it, but they don't have Twitter account, no Discord account, and then I say, hey, it's gamed. But like, dude, you did art. I understand it's a lot of effort, but it's NFTs are slightly different. Not sure if you, Jorge, has something to add here.
No, yeah, I guess that's true. And as for the launchpad, like most of the last launches, like the recent collections, we have the community vote, like communities voting on what they want on launchpad.
Hmm.
Um, and that's how kind of like it has been working for months, like having this community bowl, and it's about like building community, as you say, like reach out to other creators that always
Hmm.
eager to help, like either by doing collabs or helping like with this like exposure on socials, like on Twitter. And you can see them like interacting between projects, like doing giveaways, and that's kind of like how they grow their community.
Hmm. I saw some projects being like, I realized this other word, right? But they were cheap collect, but they tried so hard. They were like completely green, like they didn't know anything at the start, but they found a place. And I think there is a chance, right, to do something like this. Um, Jorge, another thing about Stargaze that annoys me, which is minimum. Uh, like there's listing fee, which I absolutely despise. Like, but there is like this. I realized that it might be the problem because I spoke with a friend from my Milady community, and he has collection of Solana. Like, oh, what was the minting price? Because he had like over 2,000 wallets, and the collection is like 8,000. I was like, what was the minting price? This was free drop, free mint. Sorry, on Stargaze, the minimum mint price is 50 stars. Do you think it's also shielding new users? Let me present what I'm thinking here. Imagine you have good artist and he dropped 10,000 collection, right? Let's say two NFTs per wallet is max, and he does free mint. And then you might have people from Polygon, Solana, and Ethereum. They will download and install Kepler wallet because they can mint free NFT on Stargaze. As of now, we can't do it. There is no incentive for people to download and because they need the stars. Do you think maybe we could remove that fee and enable free mints?
Yeah, maybe. I guess it has been requested lately, and uh, I guess probably it will be available. Um, I guess like there's a discussion around like how this kind of like cool affect like the blockchain state or or you will have like this recurring free means and that could affect like in terms of bots it will be fair or not. But
Mhm.
yeah, it has been requested and for from some creators to have free means.
Mhm.
But I think it might be possible to have in the
Yeah,
future. At the end,
I under
it's not my decision, but yeah, I don't see why he may not like, but just need to be think about a little bit before enabling it.
I understand the bots, right? But because we have no fees, and I'm thinking more like, hey, maybe there should be gas fee, but there should be this faucet, right? That gives you tiny amount of stars for the gas, and that essentially solve the bot issue, But also enable some other stuff. It's like for me, it's just the thinking what will bring new people. um Look, NFT liker, like I think you submit whenever you want, right? Because
For community build, it has to be before launching.
yeah, NFT liker, I hope it's not AI art. I don't like it. So if you see me will not speak about your NFT, if it's an AI art, it's just because I don't really like it. So if you wonder about this, um lately I had some issue, another issue, Jorge. I see many issues. Okay, so I had some atom, and I'm like, I need to buy some NFTs now because I was FOMOing. I don't remember if it was Pixel Wizards or something. So I go to Osmosis, and there was some maintenance. I couldn't get my stars, Jorge. I'm really annoyed that we still rely on the Osmosis pools. Like, why? Like, when I'm going to get other liquidity options?
Yeah, that's something that we are currently working on deploying a small AMM with just some at, at least two pools, which is just kind of like Atom
Mhm.
and stars and USDC stars, so you can get like an easier onboarding, um, and something like to trade with Caro, so you can easily get access
Yeah.
into like the onboarding phase.
Isn't the easiest way to like do outpost from um other app on Stargaze, because it could be done very fast, I guess. and
Um,
collaborations are quite important, I feel.
yeah, I guess so. At the end, I guess like the contracts are already done. Um, I don't know when. I don't really know the roadmap for that, but I think it was almost done, like the UI and the contracts. Um, I think the only thing that needed to like some work was around like incentives. So the
Hmm.
plan is kind of like move incentives at least from the atom stars pool into when it's launching on Stargaze, so it can have like the liquidity it needs.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, what I was speaking in wind, is there like possibility to do with wind, or you'd rather do your own?
I don't know about that. I guess like Shane probably will be best to answer. I
Right.
currently don't work
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that
Yeah,
project.
I will speak to Shane soon. I think in a week or something. There is one more thing that I'm really waiting for, and this is I know you build in the A AMM market for NFTs. That is it correct, or I shouldn't speak about this? Well, okay, I will
Uh,
frame it differently. I will frame it differently. Look, I really like Ethereum NFTs, and you know what's really efficient way for me to get the NFTs is going to platforms like SudoSwap or NFTX. And we don't have something like this because let's say I hold a lot of bad kits, right? I can't do something, but maybe I want to earn yield. And if I have something like this, I can simply, maybe I have 30 bad kits that I don't really like that much. So I could, like, tokenize them and do some liquidity with them and earn yield and put them to work. But I can't do it. Could we get something like this?
yeah, it's possible. Can't say much, but yeah.
So you can't say anything. Okay.
Yeah, I will have to ask if I can say something,
Okay. Can you
yeah,
just tell me? Mhm. Can you
we
tell
are
me?
exploring some other way to create
I
like
understand.
more liquidity into NFTs, either by something like SudoSwap that where you can maybe create like a pool and then kind of like have like an aggregator or router to match like the best buy sell for your NFTs and have like
Mhm.
more liquidity
I
for that.
understand. Um, can you tell me how does SudoSwap exactly works? Because you don't really create the pool with two tokens, right? You just bond your NFT, and like how it exactly works, like mechanics
Uh,
level.
you, you can create different types of pools, like in terms of, oh, I want to provide both NFTs and liquid stars, for example, and
Hmm.
then you decide like which like a bonding curve you want to, like how it will affect the price if you get more buys or sales,
Hmm.
and you can, I guess I don't know the exact details, but that's kind of like how you could be able to stop like a pool of with NFTs and money.
Yeah. What in this case happened with the creator fees? You cannot have creator fees, right? Then, as inside, I think
SudoSwap
actually SudoSwap
does,
has, but
yeah,
right.
SudoSwap does not have fees. I think it can be built to respect royalties, uh, um, but I guess like the other reason that people use SudoSwap is for not paying fees, like compared to
Yeah.
traditional marketplaces. Um, but it can be designed. There's no reason that you cannot pay royalties, like unless you
Uh-huh.
explicitly don't want it to pay royalties. But I guess like Stargaze so far has respected creator
Yeah.
royalties, and but at some point, like I don't know, like maybe community will start shifting this thinking. But right now, I guess like most of the Stargaze communities around like the creators and the art or collecting, so it's not a big of an issue. But when you get like more kind of degens traders of NFTs where they just want to trade them, and of course they will want to pay less money to trade.
Hmm. Um, yeah, like I heard some. I don't know in SudoSwap because I know someone. Not sure if those are people who actually provide liquidity. They can choose the fee, or you could maybe enable like the creator. Hey, the creator have to agree what is the fee. But then I was thinking that's massive issue because creator might come and blow 5%, and it's like no, you're stupid. Like so then it makes you. I
Yeah,
don't want to
so
listen to creators, right? I'm just don't gonna do.
you as the creator of the pool, you can set your own fee, like
Mhm.
how much you will be charging for providing your liquidity. Um,
Mhm.
so I guess like you can on top of that charge like the greater royalties. So it will be kind
Yeah.
of like the marketplace where you have royalties and then you have the marketplace fee.
Yeah.
But then this will be kind of like the one who is creating the pool will get the fees for trading
Yeah.
into those pools.
Yeah, this is good because I know, for example, once again, the Miladies created pool on SudoSwap, I believe, and they enabled 1%, right? So
Mhm.
there is many NFT creators, and I want them to think like this: keep yourself 10 or 20% as the treasury of your NFTs, and then when it's up, create the pool and set up maybe 1% fee for the liquidity provider, or to like whatever you want, right? But don't blow it 10% because someone else will come and do 1%, right? Like this is
Yeah.
you can be very clever about doing this. I wonder if you see the possibility, because Maestro is saying here, and sorry for getting into financial, um, lend NFT, borrow against the NFTs, and functionalism via UMI. But I see this not very practical. I actually think much more practical is when you already have the liquid market, because NFTs as of now, because they are not liquid, they cannot function really great in this borrowing. But if you have the AMM, you can lock your NFT in the pool, right? And then you can get LP token, and maybe it's more sense to then this LP token use in UMI. Do you think that we will see something like this going into the future?
Um, I don't know. Maybe like I guess like the main focus right now is increasing liquidity,
Mhm.
which will allow to have different or other aspects of how you trade your NFTs. So I guess like the focus right now is to bring more liquidity with
Mhm.
different features, which is kind of like creating kind of like pools or other aspects like
Mhm.
because right now we have like collection offers, but I guess like it is some form of creating more liquidity towards a collection.
Mhm.
But it needs like some updates in like being able to add multiple collection offers and not a single one. Um, so I guess like
Mhm.
that's where we kind of focusing right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah. Jorge, I have the question. You as the co-founder, I want to know what's the most important thing. Uh, um, the most important thing for Stargaze. What is this?
I guess like building something that people enjoy to use and and building something for the community. Um, and that's where we have had like lately some issues and like in terms like of performance or features that we are lagging behind, and that's where
Mhm.
kind of like focusing right now before adding new features, focus on what the community wants to have available on the platform. um, but I guess that's kind of like the most important thing. And sometimes we miss a lot because there's just so much stuff going on, and you can be like reading every chat and everything. But uh, I, I guess like personally as well, like I try to be available for
Mhm.
people that ask questions.
Yeah, I must say you are very available. You are like the from the Stargaze team. You are actually the one I'm always talking, and you probably notice when I find something, I'm messaging just you, you know. Oh, Jorge, I think it would be cool to add, or something. So um,
Yeah,
what it will
actually,
take. Hmm?
no, yeah, go ahead.
What it will take for Stargaze to be true interchain NFT hub?
Um, I guess we are getting closer now, especially with Game of NFTs around the corner. Will we start working on enabling an UI as well in our testnet?
Mhm,
So you can kind of like have this like uh, bridge your NFTs, but it requires like a little bit more of work in terms of so for example you want to bring NFTs from a different chain, you have actually know how to index that data because it has like traits, how to index all the images of that collection, um, compared to just like fungible tokens, like you just transfer them between chains and that's it, it's available. But there's more work around that because you need to work on the infrastructure side, which takes more time. But I guess we are getting very close, and also like the airdrop to Ethereum contract, which kind of like will be tested very soon.
mhm,
I guess like we are waiting on ICS anyone to be available and tested, so it can be added to Gravity Bridge and also kind of like start bridging more NFTs.
mhm. Okay, I think I asked you everything I wanted. Is there something you wanted to talk about, but I had no chance to ask you?
Um, Not that I can think of, but
Cool, cool. Okay, Jorge, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to finally speak with you publicly. It was a pleasure to introduce you to the community, and I hope much more people can appreciate you, and see your face, publicly. Because I think everyone knows Shane, everyone knows Jake, but like here's Jorge. He do great stuff, right? So yeah, hope you get a lot
yeah.
of deserved respect for your hard work. So
Yeah, thank
thank you
you.
for
No,
coming.
and thanks for having me here.
Yeah. And I guess it's late, so enjoy your night, Jorge. Thank you for your time, and sorry for mixing it up, guys. By the way, this chat meant to be actually tomorrow, and I mix up because it will be Tuesday, and it's already Tuesday for me, but it was Monday for Jorge. So I popped out, like I came to Jorge, and I was like, "Hey, here's the link," but it wasn't actually scheduled for today. Yeah, thank you for coming regardless, and thank you everyone for coming and listening to us as well. Thank you. Good
Okay,
night,
bye.
Jorge.